residents say despite a tough year, they remain optimistic about the year ahead. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. 2019 was an unprecedented year for many Bahamians. Despite some successes, the most dangerous hurricane to hit the Atlantic Ocean brought a new awakening and a change of plans for residents and the government. Tonight, the Minister of State for Grand Bahama reflects on the successes and the challenges that came with this year as he hopes for a prosperous 2020. Shashina Roll-Farquharson reports.
Eventful. That's how the Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, sums up the year 2019. He says in the beginning, it seemed as if it would have been the year of recovery.
Early 2019, we saw the improvement of the unemployment numbers. We saw the unemployment numbers go down to 10.9, which was the lowest for several years. We saw a number of businesses open up. We saw a number of our deals, those big deals, move forward. And so we were really on a good track, I think, prior to the hurricane. And obviously Hurricane Dorian put a real sort of dent in the progress that we were making.
But the minister notes that there were many high marks, including the introduction of Western Atlantic University of Medicine, tech companies, and the Small Business Development Center.
We have been able to progress the two major developments. We're able to sign the LOI, and we are nearing completion of the Grand Lucayan deal. Sort of pleased with the progress that we have made with respect to negotiating with ITM and with Royal Caribbean. That deal has the potential of transforming Grand Bahama, and so it is very important. It's a key initiative for the government, and we continue to have that as a high priority to push until that is completed. We've seen the signing of the carnival, and again that's one that we are continuing to push because those are major developments for the island, and they will have a major impact for the island.
But he contends that much
year stronger than right after the storm, and so we're looking forward to an even better year next year.
Shashina Roll-Farquharson, ZNF Network News.
With just 4 days left in the year, Grand Bahama's top cop is reviewing the state of crime on the island in 2019. He is also sharing some of his concerns and the way forward for the new year. Italia Hall reports.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Samuel Butler says 2019 was an interesting year for the Royal Bahamas Police Force in the Northern Bahamas. He says they are now in the process of reviewing the various challenges and successes that took place throughout the year. Butler says 2019 will be remembered for many events, adding that the department started the year with a clear plan put in place by the Commissioner of Police.
We certainly wanted to tackle a reduction in crime, so there were a number of initiatives that the police department here in the Northern Bahamas certainly followed. And so when we look generally at a wide scope of operations that were conducted, we feel good that those operations and our police presence in the community have definitely demonstrated the ability to drive crime figures in a reasonable direction.
He says there's been a reduction in property crimes, and as it relates to crimes against people, he says there are some challenges, but the police department was able to resolve those matters. But there are some outstanding matters pertaining to homicides that took place this year.
We would not want to speak definitively about any of those because they are still open and we're doing open investigations on them. There are trails that we are still following today. And so we would want to leave those there. Each year we have crimes that are not detected. But we can speak to the ones that are. We feel really comfortable with the level of detection. And again, it speaks again to the connect with the police and the community.
There were also a number of shooting incidents that took place over the last 12 months, with the recent shooting in West End on Sunday, December 22nd. Butler says that is a concern for police, but he believes that they have control over the situation.
Persons were arrested and placed before the court for having in their possession illegal firearms. And we're concerned about it because many of those arrests happen in public spaces, particularly surrounding nightlife. And so it kind of speaks to the mindset of individuals.
The police chief says most times crimes on Grand Bahama are committed by young people, and he is asking parents and members of the public to help steer these young people in a positive direction.
Because often once they are in our custody, and you ask a basic question, why did you do it? There's no real answer. There's no real answer. There's driven by the moment of emotions to respond to perhaps demonstrate that I have my quiet strength. I'm not afraid. And I've seen so many persons who I've had the opportunity to personally go and speak to. And you recognize behind that behavior, they're good people.
It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Now, the Assistant Commissioner of Police Samuel Butler also giving an update on the shooting incident that occurred in West Grand Bahama on Sunday, December 22nd, around 1 a.m. Reports say a gunman entered a business establishment on Bayshore Road in West End and opened fire, which hit 4 men about the body. He says there is 1 person in custody in connection with that incident. There were also 2 stabbing incidents over the holidays, one in West End and the other in the Smiths Point community. Police say there are several persons in custody for those incidents as well. And as it relates to the recent break-in at Cost Rights located on Cedar Street on Monday, December 22nd, Butler says culprits reportedly broke into that establishment and stole an undetermined amount of cash around 5 a.m. He adds that there are 4 persons in custody for that matter at this time.
Certainly there was a matter there, a very interesting one. And I'll go that far to say a very interesting one. We have 4 persons in custody for that particular matter. And I believe you'll understand why it says interesting. We're still working through the process. They're in custody. It's turning to be something that's interesting. Unfortunate, but interesting. And the police want to pride itself that we understand how to do our job. And so we're satisfied that we've made good progress in that matter. And we feel good in a short order, we will be asking you to cover a story.
In other news, residents on Grand Bahama say they're looking forward to the new year. While it was a tough ending for many, some residents say they're looking toward 2020 with great hope and anticipation. In less than 1 week, one of the most trying years for Grand Bahama will come to an end. Our ZNS News team spoke with residents who say that while they had mixed feelings about the year 2019, they believe this island will bounce back.
I think with the hurricane, I know Bahamas are very resilient, and it's been, there's been some ups and downs, and I think, we are strong enough to we're looking forward and hopeful for 2020, and I think we're going to bounce back from this. I know it's hard, and it's kind of dismal at times, but I believe Grand Bahama is going to bounce back, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, it was hectic the last quarter. Yeah, so that's what it is. It started off pretty good, but as you know, it's really bad now. So ain't much most of us could do, but hope for the best and pray that things get better.
Residents share what they are looking forward to in the year 2020, including hopes for the entire island and personal goals.
Now I'm looking for progress in that a lot of people, homes have been damaged, and I'm hoping that they put more efforts in helping the people in Grand Bahama. Now as for me, I do renovation and construction work. Work is here for me. But a lot of people still are out of jobs, especially ladies. So I'm looking for the government to help in some way to make employment to allow majority of those who are out of job being employed.
I hope the economy could start booming on Grand Bahama because it sucks for not just me but a lot of other people. So hopefully the first thing I would like is the economy to start booming and make everything else better. Hopefully, I get married. I'm tired of this.
Well, I sure hope everybody could control themselves and focus on trying to build this place back the way it needs to be, because everybody being devastated by the hurricane.
The Freeport needs to bounce back. I pray to the Lord that it will. I want it bounce back. And I want all the young people to get a job.
To survive, live, and do the will of God. That's all I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, personally for myself, I'm looking to get rich. Can you help me with that?
Now, as the year continues to wind down and persons are still in a festive mood, these residents had these messages of hope.
All I could say is take it with a stride and hope for the best and pray that things turn around.
Keep your head up. Don't let the hurricane, what happened, keep us down. But let's look forward for a new year. And hopefully God bless us and it turned out really good for the 2020.
Just tell them stay strong and just keep pushing forward. That's all they could do.
'Tis the season for shopping, and despite the economic challenges Grand Bahama has faced this year, in this report, Talia Hall tells us that some business owners say sales were good this holiday season, and they also believe that business will continue to grow in the new year.
The streets were still a bit busy on Friday morning, with residents doing some final holiday shopping. Manager of Parfum de Paris, Carolee Dame, says holiday sales are going very well, considering that they were just able to open their doors on December 20th after being hit hard by Hurricane Dorian.
We had 2 days to get the store back open. We know that our clients were waiting on us, and so we got it back together in time just to open, to make sure that we were there for the customers. And really, in spite of Dorian, we had great success, great turnout. People shopped, people did what they had to do, and it was a success.
The 17th shop recently opened their doors as well. Sales associate Marva Black says they stayed open late for the public on Christmas Eve.
They shop for church clothing, work clothing, going out clothing, shoes, bags, jewelry. They shop for everything. We had very, very, very good sales, and a lot of people shop at home, at least here with us, and we appreciate it. Highly we did, considering what a lot of people went through.
Over at Dolly Madison, shoppers were still shopping as well. General Manager James Roll says they were able to offer just about everything that they offered in the main store prior to the storm.
We had hundreds of persons coming, okay, and that's good, and we really appreciate that, and that's one of the reasons why we decided that it was important for Dolly Madison to get back up and running, because this is one of the staple businesses in the Grand Bahama community, and we wanted to make sure that our customers and the Grand Bahama community at whole had access to the shopping appetites that they so well deserve.
Bellevue Gifts, another popular store on Grand Bahama to buy Christmas gifts, store manager Teresa Tomlinson says, with the state of the economy, management is pleased with the support from the community.
We ran a 15% off sale to basically help the consumer to be able to purchase
would they need at this particular time, because we were encouraging people, that was our way of encouraging people to shop at home to help to fuel the economy of Grand Bahama, to keep monies here. And all in all, we must give thanks for whatever we get.
It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Don't go away, there's more news right after this break.